This is the first part of what I brought home from the NAMAC Diecast event in Holland that was held at the beginning of June of 2023. I thought I'd change it up a little, and instead of showing you what I got from each seller, I'll go by country of origin of each diecast brand. We start in Europe, in the south of Europe, in Spain. And here is a Renault 11 made in Spain by the Mira diecast manufacturer. Seller was asking 5 and got him down to 325. So this vehicle is a little bit disproportionate. The backside should be quite a bit shorter. I think these were also sold in the United States at one point, so some of you older American viewers might recognize this. I guess they have all rusted out now. So it's got a plastic base and a metal body. It's got a little trailer hitch there in plastic. Stickers on the sides and on the hood or bonnet. No interior, so it's kind of looks like a Chinese knockoff, honestly. So this is a little bit more recent release, I think, than the other one we're going to look at. That seems more quality-like. Or maybe this was just a kind of a cheaper sub-series they did. Not sure. And this is the other one. Metal on metal, Renault 4, made in Spain. This was also more expensive, €10. Got them down to 6.5. So this is a small Renault van in a ambulance livery. Now this is quite a small van, so you would not be able to get a stretcher in here. So a little bit silly that it's in an ambulance livery, but you know, maybe they existed in Spain like this. I don't know. It's got the opening doors. Got a brown interior with a proper steering wheel. So I'm glad I have found this nice version. I found it before, but was repainted. As you can see, base was originally silver. So the person who restored this did do the right thing on painting it silver, but it's kind of different. But then the body is very badly painted. I'm not sure if it ever was released in the kind of a civilian livery or it was always a ambulance. Not sure about that, but yeah, very glad to have the original thing now. Much better. Then we go to France, a little bit more up north of Spain. I got a few Majorette, some older stuff and some newer stuff. This Ford K, only €2. Kind of a street cars version. There's no year on these boxes, so there's no way of, or these cards, there's no way of telling how old it is. It is made in Thailand, so not made in France. Cute little vehicle, 1/58 scale, no suspension on this. So the dark gray plastic is a separate piece. It's not part of the base, which is black, and it's not part of the interior, which is red. Got lens lights for the headlights, part of the window piece, a little sunroof there that is seems a little bit tilted upwards. You've got red taillights, part of the red interior. That's nice. And a proper steering wheel. Yeah. Cute little vehicle. A little bit older. I got this Volvo 760 GLE in a very worse for wear original plastic blister. These tend to disintegrate over time. Paid €5 for this from a Belgian seller that I had not seen there before. Somebody who was from Brussels. A nice guy. And I picked this up as a replacement of one I already have. But turns out it's not exactly the same, so kind of cool. I have a different version now. So let's get this out of there. So this is made in France, 1/61 scale. Nice blue color with a red interior. Lens headlights, some striping down the side. Some details embossed on the back there. So I have a blue one with the trailer hitch broken off. So I kind of bought this to replace that one. So I dug it out, of course. Here it is. And as you can see, the tow hook has broken off. As you can also see, it's got a white lip to hold the trailer down. Part of the interior, so that means it has a white interior instead of a red one. So that's a nice variation. But also, if you compare the blues, they're a little bit different. So that is also very cool. So yeah, that was a nice surprise. Definitely adding to the Volvo collection. Speaking about Volvo, Diecast Dude brought me a few new releases. This is from the Tune-Up Series 3. This is the Volvo V90. So this, of course, also has suspension just like this one. I did not demonstrate that, but you know, a lot of travel on these. Awesome. So this comes with a roof piece with some luggage on there. It's got an orange interior, a correct looking steering wheel for this type of vehicle. As I mentioned before, I wish the lift gate opened up and not the doors, but anyway. And the lens lights in the front look a little bit amber, so the window piece is actually also a little bit amber colored, adding to the orange interior. Not my favorite one. The next one is my favorite. Very nice frosty blue with a roof box. That looks really nice. It's got a purplish interior. That's okay. It's not that bad. The roof box also opens up. There you go. One downside to this, the roof box should be a little bit more backwards, quite like about like this far, to make sure the liftgate still opens up. But they used, I don't know if I will be able to show you, they used the holes in the middle there of the roof that also function as the holes to put the light bar through for the police vehicle. So they use the same hole for this luggage carrier, and that's why it sits a little bit too much forward. But anyway, other than that, it's pretty cool. And it's got the clear windows, so you get the clear headlights. That's also much nicer. So thank you, Diecast Dude, for these. Very kind of you. Also got this Majorette US van made in France. I had not seen this before. Paid a little bit less than €2. Got a little discount. So we got metal on metal. We got a white interior that also makes for the grille and these side skirts. Separate white plastic doors, and then some cargo space in the back, and some, well, kind of looks like a kitchen area or something like that. So you can use it as a camper, I guess. And it's got this side exhaust here, which I think is kind of cool. So yeah, and this bunch of windows here. Also is very nice. So you got a round one here. Got the double doors here, no windows and doors. And then on this side, a few windows. Cool. I like it. Last Majorette. This long one from the 300 series, the ladder fire engine. And plastic blister that is has survived the years very well. It is made in Thailand, so it's not as old as the Volvo, obviously. In a Fire Department of New York livery. I don't know if this is engine number 55 or just the number for the fire station. So it's got the ladder that moves up and slides out and turns around. Some chrome bits on there. I think it's a plastic base though. Kind of a generic fire truck, fire engine. That's okay. It was €10, but you know, in the pristine box, I thought that was worth it. Staying in France, we get to Noref first. Renault dealership packaging. Renault toys. This is the Master. Seller was asking 5 and I got a little discount to 4.5. This is the box van. I have a kind of a moving van version of this, but this is kind of a fresh food delivery version. Metal on metal. The Renault Master 2003 model. It's got suspension. Got the chrome steelies on there with plastic tires. Lens headlights. Flat black painted metal bumper. It's very nicely done. Side mirrors molded into the diecast. This is a plastic wind deflector on top. And then got the plastic box. And doors open. And we got some details on the rear bumper there. Very nice. A great value for money, for sure. And I got 3 of these Renault Megane. The reason why I got all 3 of them is because these are universal hobbies. Very similar to Noref. Actually, we're going to compare it to a Noref version to see how much different it is. Universal Hobbies is also a French company. Well, you can see here it's got the address on there. So from the same seller, so paid the same amount of money. So this is the Renault Megane Vacances, so a holiday version. So the coupe convertible, and it comes with an accessory. Usually I'm not that into accessories, but you know, because this is a Universal Hobbies, I like to buy all of them that I come across. So this is this metal? Oh yeah, wow, that's nice. We got a metal base, people. So it just says Megane, Universal Hobbies, Renault Toys, made in China. Some detail on the base there. There's suspension. There's authentic rims in chrome with plastic tires. You've got lens lights in the rear and in the front. That is definitely something extra compared to Noref, whereas Noref only does the front lights and as a jeweled piece, as some might say. Some bumper protection strip in dark gray, nicely done. Get a proper steering wheel and a okay looking interior, detail wise. Even got some paint for the third brake light there. And then the little contraption here on the back, actually fitted on the trailer hitch to put this little racing bike on there, bicycle. Let's see if we can easily fit that in. Look at that. It's even got the chain and everything detailed. How nice is that? That's definitely worth the money also. Let's see, can we fixate that on there? Or maybe it should be on there like that. I'm not sure. Maybe that will fit better. Oh yeah, fits nicely. Look at that. Going on holiday and taking your racing bike. Cool. That's awesome. Let's take this one next. Nice blue color with a beige or tan interior. And also always a nice combo. So this one has the rack on the boot or trunk. It's also got the metal base, got the same rims, same details. The interior is a little bit easier to look at with this light color. And then we got some surfboards that I guess just just have to put in like that, I assume. Yeah, I guess works like this. If you think it's fits in there differently, you can tell me. They stick out a little bit in the back. Maybe that's not so safe. Maybe they should be a little bit more to the front, but then you can't have any passengers in there. See, this looks a little bit safer for you know, in traffic, but not that safe for the passengers, I think. Cool, a nice one. And then we got the one we're going to compare with the NORAF version. They were all the same money, by the way. This one comes with the coupe roof. So again, same details, black metal base. And also a light colored interior. I like it, these lighter interiors. It's great for videoing. So we got the plastic cover here for the soft top. And then we got a hard top. Kind of folds out of the, well, there's no soft top in here, okay? There's a hard top that is folded into the boot or trunk. So this is just a plastic cover. Let's see. There's no pin here on the base to secure it. That's kind of odd. So I don't know how that's going to stay put there. Oh yeah, you just press it in there. Oh, that's awesome. That works very well. Look at that. That is very ingenious. So it's also is a see-through top. So glass panel, panoramic roof, which is cool for a convertible, right? Even if it's bad weather, you have that feeling of driving with the roof open without getting wet. So let's take a look at the NORAF version. So here's a NORAF version. I can already tell scale-wise that the Universal Hobbies is smaller. I'm not sure if it's true 1/64 scale. It's definitely smaller than the NORAF version. I will hold them against one another. You can see the wheelbase is shorter and also the length of the vehicle shorter. So possibly scale accurate, the Universal Hobbies. So in the back, no lensed light for the NORAF, just the painted version. Bigger trailer hitch. and a unpainted metal base. A little bit more details on the Universal Hobbies too. Same suspension system, although the suspension bars are a little bit more outward on the Universal Hobbies, or maybe because it's a more narrow vehicle, it seems just like that. And they are screwed together, the Universal Hobbies, instead of riveted in the front and clipped into the trailer hitch in the back. Got the same style rims, it seems. Yeah, same style rims. A little bit different in the front. Not sure if there's a well, no, I don't think it's a facelift version. I just think Universal Hobbies puts a little bit more detail in the grille and stuff. They are the same model year, I'm sure. No red paint for the third brake light here, but it's a red one, so that's kind of, you know. The roof piece, there's a little bit more paint on the roof piece on the NORAV than there is on the Universal Hobbies, so there's more glass area on the Universal Hobbies. Then interior wise, let's see. Let's take this roof piece off without breaking it. Let's see. Come on. Doesn't want to. Going to have to, you see. NORAV uses pins to fixate it, whereas Universal Hobbies just uses the kind of the base of the roof part that is a little bit more extended. I think it's a nicer way of doing things. Interior wise, let's compare this. It's got a different dashboard, which is interesting. So maybe there is some facelift difference going on here, not sure. The NORAV has the handbrake nicely detailed. It's kind of a handbrake that looks like some controller in a airplane. Interestingly, yeah, cool. Nice to see these two together and have both versions. Then we get to Great Britain. This is a Corgi made in Great Britain. It's a Renault Traffic van in a parts and service livery. From the same seller got the Mira from, so got the same discount as the cheap looking Mira. So plastic black base and then a metal body. It seems to have some stuff in the back there. Cool. Move around some parts. Yeah, I like these car make liveries. So that definitely caught my eye immediately. Then we get to Germany. A Siku Mercedes-Benz E500 with some stats on the vehicle. This was only €2.5. It's got rubber tires. It's got generic rims. It's got a separate piece for the light bar. It's got lens lights front and rear. It's got opening doors. It's got a nice looking interior with a proper steering wheel. So all that for €2.5. That's a steal. E500 Polizei, it says on the boot or trunk. Interestingly. Got the trailer hitch. And a separate piece for the grille also. Nice one. Then this caught my eye. A Audi A4 Avant in silver. Seller was asking €6. I was not willing to pay that, but I noticed that the blister was broken. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to make him go down in price because of that broken blister. But before I could suggest that to him, he said, if you buy 2, you can have them for €10, so €5 each. So, of course, that had me started looking for the other ones he had, which I first did not pay attention to. And then I saw this Porsche Cayenne Turbo, which has authentic rims, which is kind of a rare thing for Siku, but they did some, and this is a 2008 release. You can see that by the little folder in there. That's the only way to know what year this is from. This one does not have the folder. They only have done that for some time, and not always did they have the year on there. I think around this time was the best time period for modern Siku, when some of the vehicles had the authentic rims, and they had the lens lights front and back, which is not the case anymore now. They are tempoed lights. They still have the rubber tires and the opening parts, but they have the generic rims and the tempoed lights nowadays, and they still they cost this much or even more. So you get less value for money nowadays, and that's why I prefer this time period. And I will, I will not hesitate to pick these up, because I think they were really giving you a lot of bang for your buck back then. So let's take a look. I think the orange kind of suits this vehicle. I would not want to be seen dead in it, but for a toy car, sure, why not? So they are rubber tires, but they are kind of hard from being in the package all that time. As you can see here, you can recognize those Porsche rims. That is cool. They have open holes between the spokes. That's awesome. Very realistic looking. Also has a trailer hitch. Got the third brake light in red, and then the model name Tempo there. That's cool. Proper steering wheel. And a nice dashboard. Kind of strange that the mirrors are not on the door, so that's the only point of criticism I want to give this. Sunroof. And no Porsche emblem. That is also a little point of criticism that should have had. So there's no tempo in the front, just on the rear. And then we get to the one that caught my attention initially. Audi A4 Avant 3-liter TDI. Generic rims with no open space between the spokes, unfortunately. Do get nicely tempered backside there. The Audi rings on there. And even the Audi rings printed on the front on that separate plastic piece for the grille, the license plate. And even some paint for the fog lights. And again, a nice looking interior. Hard to look at it all black like that. Yeah, nice addition to the station wagon collection for sure. Staying in Germany, here we got an oldie. This is a Schuko Mercedes 200 Polizei. Well, that's what it says on the base, but it's actually a taxi version. They use the same base for that. Made in Germany back in the day. So this is probably end of the 70s, I'm guessing. Plastic wheels with chrome inserts. It's not mint. but it's complete, and that's what counts for me. Seller was asking €6.50, but because it was the end of the event, he let me have it for 5. They got a metal dashboard with a metal steering wheel, and then plastic seats. So no tampos on this except for the taxi sign on top, which is a separate piece. So nice addition to the taxi collection. Also branded as a Siku, but really a high-speed casting from China. Got it for half price. The Audi A4 Cabrio. I'm not going to take it off the base. I'm just going to show it to you like this. You want to have proof that it's a high speed. There you go. It says so on the base there. Side profile, it looks okay. It has the same issue as the BMW 3 Series convertible by high speed. If you look at it from the front, the windscreen is way too high, way too big. Kind of looks like a Popemobile. This has tampoed details, no lens lights. That's why I don't consider it worth €10. But for €5, I think it's nice enough for that kind of money. And it's got a nice interior too, so you know, definitely worth it. That's when Siku did not have their 164 line. That started, the nowadays known 164 line from Siku started in 2014. So that was from before that time. Then we go to the Netherlands. They made a lot of these FC Toys vans. I usually only pick them up when I can find them in the original box. Kind of easier to keep them in there, and you know, usually the loose ones also cost €5 if you can get the blister one for that kind of money. Also got for half price. Then I'll pick it up. Don't know if you will be able to read that. Made in Heerlen, Holland. So just kind of sits on there, this blister. Turn around. Well, actually, it says FC Holland here, and then the other side, Fiat 242. Scale is 166 or 68. 68, I think. So plastic wheels, metal on metal, a very sharp trailer hitch. So this is kind of a money transport vehicle. It's a Fiat. It says so there in the front. There's also a Citroën version. I think the other one is a Citroën version. And it's got a sliding door. Some are easier to open than others. Well, this one doesn't really want to open, it seems. So I'm going to leave it shut. Don't want to chip it, but maybe the other one will open up. You see where Mattel learned the Tombstone steering wheel from FC apparently. Well, there were more companies that did that. I like that the window piece in the rear is kind of opaque, while the window piece in the front is clear. So that's nice. Nice touch. Of course, you don't want to see how much money is in there. But usually, money transport vehicles don't have a window in the back, obviously. But you know, they use this same casting for a lot of liveries. I got another one in a box that is too big. This is a box that was used for rigs and trucks, and not for these vans. So it's not in the correct box. But anyway, a little discount, but same price as the other one. So this is the Citroën version, the C35, and in this case the print is, you can read it from one side, you don't have to turn it. So the rest is the same. Promoting tulips from Holland. It has a amber colored window piece and a white interior. This one slides easy. Oh yeah, and here you can see the different emblem for the Citroën, the double chevron emblem. And you got a big luggage space there in the back. Nicely done. Yeah, lovely. And the clear window piece. Well, amber see-through window piece, I mean. Sweet. Then before we get to Japan, let's jump over to the US of A. Hot Wheels Premium Team Transport. I don't buy many of these anymore because, well, at normal price, they are between 20 and 25 euro. So that's ridiculous. So not for me. 2021 Toyota GR Supra and the Aero Lift. I got it for half price. Here's the other vehicles in the set. I actually got this one too at the next Diecast event. So, yeah. Let's take a look. So the Transporter, flat black metal base, made in Thailand. So this is also an MBK casting, Matchbox Bangkok. Metal body on the kind of Japanese style COE, cab over engine. With some red plastic part of the interior, makes for the bumper, but then the bottom part where it says Hot Wheels is metal. And this, of course, slides backwards and tilts, so you can drive the vehicle on there. Of course, got the real riders. And here's the vehicle that sits on the back. Nice rims, I like these. GR on almost every side. Yeah, nicely detailed, not bad. And I found an oldie, a Johnny Lightning Hollywood on Wheels series from the Fast and the Furious, a 2003 Nissan 350Z or Z, official movie merchandise, in a nice blue color. Kind of strange rims, but it was only €5, so I'm not going to pass that up. Here's the back side. You can freeze the frame if you want to read that. It also says it's in French, interestingly. And the copyright is 2004. So let's take a look. Metal on metal, Universal Studios licensing on the base there. 2004 copyright also on the base. Got two metal exhausts sticking out of the bumper. Are these rubber or plastic? It's kind of hard to tell. They feel plastic, but they also feel a little bit rubbery. Well, let's assume they are plastic. Yeah, I think they're plastic. Yeah, kind of strange rims. Don't know if they were actually like that in the movie. But, you know, nice and chromy. Got the Z on the side there. Nicely detailed on the side. The rear, Fast and Furious on the license plate. Even around the windows, all decoed up. A little bit too white. The headlights should have been a little bit more silver. Would be more to my liking, but you know. And a nice light colored interior, so we can have a gander at that. The proper steering wheel. Good. Nice one. Then we get to Japan. Now this one I saw at the previous NAMAC event. I looked at it. Didn't take it and regretted it afterwards. Originally, last time the seller was asking, I think 6, but then went down to 5, but without the box, and you know, I didn't want to buy it. But you know, I regretted it coming home, because what are the odds of finding a school bus for my school bus collection that is made by Tomica? Not only that, it is made in Japan. 1976 copyright. 1:108 scale. Missing a little bit of chrome on this wheel here, but other than that, it's minty. So yeah, I found it again. Seller was immediately asking €5, not asking 6. So I was like, you know, I'm buying it. Separate chrome piece for the grill. It says school bus up there. And on the side in tempo print. No tempos on the rear. It's got suspension, by the way. That's cool. Usually these bigger vehicles, well, bigger, it's not big, but the kind of more heavy vehicles do not get suspension. So yeah, was glad it was still there. And then I found something that I was not expecting to find. It was laying on a table on its side like this, with a few more car transporters next to it. I think it had a Yachting car transporter next to it, which I also kind of regret not buying, but you know, seller was asking €10 and it looked very plasticky, and you know, didn't want to spend that. And then there was another one next to it, which was, you know, kind of off-brand, cheap plastic Chinese thing. This one intrigued me, had never seen it before, didn't know what it was, so I picked it up. And it said on there, Tomica Dandy Hino Tractor 1:60 scale, made in Japan. I was like, holy moly, a Tomica car transporter? Never seen that before. It's not mint, but you know, again, what are the odds of me finding a Tomica car transporter in Europe? Second to none. So seller was asking €15. I offered him 10 and he accepted. So yeah, I was a happy camper. Lens lights, part of the amber window piece. Separate plastic grill with some chrome on there. It says Hino on the license plate, and then I guess this is the Hino emblem on there. A sticker on the side, well, on both sides actually. All metal, by the way. Everything you see is metal except for the interior, the window piece and the wheels and the grill. I just mentioned this plastic. So very heavy. Apparently it also exists with an American tractor, this car transporter. A buddy of mine has that one, but he doesn't have the Hino, so he's kind of jealous about that. It also has a little bit of suspension, or maybe that's just the axles bending, not sure. And the transporting part is all plastic, but very high quality plastic. Also made in Japan. Does have a metal slider on here to push the vehicles from the bottom section, out of the bottom section. Plastic wheels. So this the ramp folds down. Give you a look on the inside, and then this part just pushes down. There's a little lip here that keeps it up, and then you can just push it down all the way down. It feels very good quality. I don't know how old this is, but you know, must have some years behind his belt, and it's still functioning very well and still feels very good quality. So I'll put some cars on it at the end of this video if you want to see that. Stick around. It's got this plastic clip here that kind of pushes in there. Requires a hard push. Click like that. So put it in the back there, and then we'll put some vehicles on there at the end. So that was the second seller that had some Tomica. And then these all came from a third seller that also had some Tomica. So seems like we have a Tomica theme here, just like the previous NAMAC episode we had a Grell, East German diecast theme. And before that we had a Matchbox theme. So it seemed like all NAMAC diecast events this year have had some kind of a theme for me. This guy usually does not have Tomica, just like all the other previous sellers usually did not have that amount of Grell or well, the Matchbox. That kind of was what they usually were selling, but not that cheap. Okay. These, I asked him, they were in a plastic container that fits one car that you can buy in China. He usually packages his cars like that. Asked him what they was selling them for. He said €6, which is a very fair price for these older Tomicas. And I even got him down to €5.50. I gave him back his boxes. I put these in baggies. I don't have room for the boxes, so I gave those back to him. So those also cost a little bit of money. Most of these are made in Japan, with I think a few exceptions. So Tomica, Tomy 158 scale Toyota Celica 2000 GTR. Suspension, opening doors on this one. So all the vehicles have the correct, have the steering wheel on the correct side of the country of origin of the car make. I like that a lot about these Tomica. So of course these are right-hand drive for Japan. So we got no tampo on the rear here, but we do get some black for the C-pillar. Got the cladding or the plastic protection on the side painted. And we got a black insert for this front part here. That is a separate piece because the interior is, as you can see, tan. So yeah, beauty for sure. Next up, the Mazda Savannah RX-7 in 155 scale, so rather large. This is kind of the Siku scale this is in. Suspension, of course. This one gets a lensed taillight with the RX-7 kind of visible in this black painted centerpiece. This one has a little bit of a paint chip there. Most of them are mint, but here and there you can see a paint chip. I don't mind. I got these, well, they were steel basically. Don't come with the box, but I don't care. It's not important to me. With the box, they would have been out of my price range. I think he had some with the box. No, those were a Matchbox. Yeah. The boxes make these older ones with the boxes make them so much more expensive. Not worth it for me. Toyota Crown Majesta in 1/64 scale. Taxi version also gets the lensed taillight with the crown on the license plate. Chrome headlights. Same part probably as the grill piece, and then the taxi sign there, some Japanese text on there. Also has the opening doors, red interior. So they had seems to have in the past they did more colorful interiors opposed to nowadays. Then we get to a minivan. This is a plastic base, but still made in Japan. This is the Toyota Estima, as it was known in Japan, known as the Tarago in Australia, and then Previa in the rest of the world, also 1/64 scale. No suspension on this, as I said, these kind of bigger vehicles do not get the suspension. Has the lift gate that opens up and kind of clicks into an open position. It's got an opening here, as to where nowadays they make it all metal and then paint it black to mimic a window piece. That seems to what they do it, how they do it nowadays. So the cladding and the bumpers is painted in this kind of gray, dark gray. That's cool. And then we get a chrome piece for the grille and headlights. This one does not get a proper steering wheel, unfortunately. Gets some kind of a tombstone thingy. And we got 3 rows of seats. This is a 6-seater. Well, got captain chairs in there. Cool. And then we got the Toyota Hi-Ace. 166 scale, made in Japan. In an ambulance livery, no suspension either. Also has the lift gate that opens up. It's kind of narrow. That doesn't look like that would be the case on the real vehicle, I guess, being so narrow. It's not, oh yeah, it is suited for a stretcher on the right side there. And then some nurses and a doctor can sit next to it, and maybe a family member. Separate piece for the light on top, the cherry. The front end here with the bumper and the headlights and the grille, part of the plastic base. Then we got a metal clip there, clips into the base there. Slightly blue window piece, but then we get a red cherry, kind of odd. And also a ugly steering wheel on this one. Let's stay with the Japanese cars and continue with these Tomica Premium that he also had. They were tucked away in a box, but he said, since you're buying these, maybe you're interested in these. I was, because he let them have me for €7.50. So I think that's a fair price for these. Unfortunately, this one is not mint, but you know, I did not check them, so it's my own fault. Should always check before you buy. It was near the end of the event, and always I'm short of time, even though it is 5 hours. I do not consider 5 hours enough for such a big event, not if you want to check every nook and cranny of every table. Some people can do it in 2 or 3 hours, but that way you can only glance at a table and just then move on. Toyota 2000 GT in 159 scale, so rather large, made in Vietnam. That's where the modern ones are produced. These have authentic rims, suspension, opening parts, and you know, I'd say full deco. A disc for a steering wheel that is better than a Tombstone for sure, but not as good as the some of the old ones. And it's got a lensed piece here in the front. There's some paint rubbed off here and there, you can see here, and then you know, some other parts. But yeah, nice model for sure. Liking it a lot. Staying with Toyota, the Supra in 162 scale, same price. I could not believe these were left untouched until the end of the event. Seems like Tomica is not very popular around here. We've got some silver for the exhaust. Authentic rims, of course, lens lights, full deco, opening doors. And nicely tempered in the rear. Spoiler. Cool stuff. And a Nissan Skyline GTR V-Spec 2. Die Nur probably stands for Nürburgring. 1/62 scale. Yeah, same name on the base there. So some silver for the exhaust tips. Nice authentic rims, nice blue color. Everything tempoed up that you would want to see tempoed. The spoiler is a separate piece that is added on there, I think. Cool. Then we continue with the European car makes. This is the only one that was made in China. Mercedes-Benz 300 SL in 1/63 scale. I have a silver made in Japan version that I showed in the Gullwing video. This is a kind of a period correct cream colored version. Chrome for the grille and the headlights. Metal on metal. Everything else besides this chrome plastic piece. And the interior, of course, is also plastic, just like the wheels. Opening gullwing doors. That's pretty nifty. Don't want to force them. Yeah, this one doesn't open as high. Kind of scared to push it. There we got a proper steering wheel. Cool. And it closes up very nicely. So we'll put the European ones on there just like the thumbnail picture. This is a Volkswagen. Kind of funny, there's a space between the two words. 1977 copyright 1/60 scale. So this is actually the same scale as the rig, the transporter. Made in Japan. Got a Beetle tempo on the side. No opening part on this. So same construction as what the Hot Wheels one used to be, with the headlights part of the metal base and clipping into the body. We do get some red for the taillights. So kind of compensating for the lack of an opening part. And get a proper steering wheel and a light colored interior. Put it next to the rig so you can kind of see the true 1/60 scale comparison there, size wise. Then we get to the Morgan Plus 8, also made in Japan, 1/57 scale, so also kind of large. So this one has a little paint chip right there, and he had a second one, so yeah, I missed that. Otherwise, maybe the other one would have been better nick, but okay. You win some, you lose some. So metal bumpers and grille, unpainted, part of the unpainted metal base. Clear window piece. Proper steering wheel and a spare wheel. Different, well, same style as the wheels on there, but kind of different. Here we got a plastic base Lotus Esprit, but still made in Japan. 1979 copyright, 1/60 scale, so also the same as the car transporter. Suspension, and as you can see here, there's a little lever there, so you can pop up the headlights. That's awesome. Click. And we got a red interior again, light colored interior. Nothing tempo wise. Got the Lotus embossed there on the rear. Steering wheel is a disc. It's not a proper steering wheel, but you know, it's plastic based, so probably a later version, I guess, than compared to the other ones. Also plastic base on this Lamborghini Countach LP 500S, 161 scale, 1978 copyright, made in Japan. Got the same rims as the other ones have, but in gold. Also some gold stripes on there. Got the Raging Bull, red interior also. This one has an opening part. It's the engine cover. Got the chrome engine in there. Look at that. I think these are the model numbers. F stands for foreign. So foreign car make for the Japanese. And then 0, what is it, 37 or 57? Can't quite read it. Another Tomica Premium European car make, Porsche 911 Carrera RS 2.7, 161 scale, same money, same seller. Plastic white base, authentic rims, the Fuchs rims, Carrera on the side, lens lights in the rear, that is nice. A little ducktail with the Carrera RS printed on there, Porsche underneath. Might have been a 2.7 on the back here, originally on the real one. Some silver around the windows, lensed headlights, painted indicators, and the red stripe there, Porsche logo. Yeah, everything you'd want is there. No opening part on this, but I don't mind. This is a really nice one. We are going to end in Japan with these Kyosho. This is the Audi TT Coupe, so plastic base, rubber tires, authentic rims. I found these in a tray. Was asking €5. The seller got them for 4. Must say these Kyosho are the only ones that have not gone up in price much compared to before the pandemic, or before the crazy inflation. Nice model, got a plastic insert for the grille there, nicely tempoed up. Even got the little Quattro sign in there. Lens lights front and rear, of course. And also got a sedan. This is the Audi S6. So same features as the other one. Nice blue color. Sweet. And then we get to the part you've all been waiting for. Well, probably not all of you. Let's get some cars in there. So slide this sliding thing all the way to the rear. Let's put, you know, oh yeah, one downside for this thing. The Tomica Dandy, I did not tell you that. Tomica Dandy were 1/43 scale cars by Tomica. But for these rigs, these tractor trailer combinations, they did them in 1/60 scale, which made them suitable for the smaller scale vehicles. But one downside is this little track here is kind of too, well, this actually fits on there well, but some of the others, the vehicles are too wide and they still kind of fit, you know. I'm sorry. I thought these were too wide for them, but oh yeah, this one does not really fit. See, it's kind of driving on the edge. I think this one, well, this one fits too. Okay, so I was under the wrong impression that none of these fit on the in between the lines, but it's only the Esprit that does not really fit in between. Okay, I stand corrected. For once I corrected myself. Usually it's you guys in the comments that correct me. So we push the Beetle in there. Let's see. let's put the convertible at the bottom, part 2. Well, first we have to lower this to get the cars on the top section. Otherwise, I'm going to crush the Morgan. We don't want that, do we? So let's see. There might be a better fitting following order for these, but I think this will work. And then we will have to kind of lift it up with the car on there. Let's see, that kind of works. There you go. And then put the Morgan at the bottom so it can stay dry underneath the Lambo. There you have it. Thanks for watching. Bye.